We will now evaluate this given limit, that is limit of negative f of x plus 3 times of g of x and x approaches negative 6 using the limit laws. So I'm going to use these two laws. The first one is the sum law and another law is constant multiple law. So the sum law says that if you have to find the limit of sum of two functions, that is f of x plus g of x, and you find the limit, it is equal to the limit of the f of x plus the limit of the g of x. So this law is the sum law. And then we also have the constant multiple law, which says that if you have to find the limit of a function which is multiplied by constant c, you can simply factor out the c, that is a constant, and then find only the limit of f of x. So it's basically a product of the constant and the limit of the function. So we will use these two laws to evaluate this given limit. So first I'm going to write down this, or I'm going to break this into two limits using the sum law. So I can write down this as limit of negative f of x is x approaches negative 6. Can put a bracket over here as well, plus limit of 3g of x and x approaches negative 6. Now to evaluate the first limit, which is negative f of x, this could be considered as a limit of, I can consider the negative 1, or I can put this as negative 1 times of f of x. X approaches negative 6 and limit of 3g of x. I write the second limit as it is, x approaches negative 6. Now we are going to use the constant multiple law, which says that if you have to find the limit of a function which is a product of the constant, you can simply factor out the constant. So here we can see that in the first limit we have the constant negative 1, as well as in the second limit we have the constant 3. So we apply the constant multiple rule, which means these two factors, the constants, will come in front. So like this we can put in front of the limit. So I'm going to put this as negative 1 times of limit of f of x, x approaches negative 6, plus I put the 3 in front and then multiply with the limit of g of x, x approaches negative 6. Now we have been given these two values of the limits, that is the value of limit of f of x when x approaches negative 6 is 3. So I can replace it over here. So therefore this becomes negative 1 times of 3 plus the second limit is also given, limit of g of x, x approaches negative 6 equal to negative 7. So I can just replace it over here. So we just have to calculate this. Negative 1 times of 3 is negative 3 and 3 times of negative 7 is negative 21. So negative 3 negative 21 is negative 24. So this is the answer for this question. We have evaluated the limits using the limit laws.